to a very curious place. I finally found a brush. One brush. I've got probably, I don't know how many brushes in the house, but I found one so far. So, and I am on my way to pick up the grocery order. And you know what? I was like, I did all this filming yesterday, and I filmed this one where I basically talk about my life and everything like that. And you know, I can't forget where everything's at. And you know, what's going on and things like that. And you know, so I did all that, and I did like this long video on it. Well, not long, it was maybe 20 something minutes, which is actually short for me. But yeah, so I did that, and then I got home and I was going through everything, and I was deleting the ones that didn't work out. Let me move this a bit. So I was deleting all the ones that didn't work out, because there were a few of them. And I was, you know, going through and making sure that the ones that did work out, that everything was good with them, and that I wouldn't have any trouble when I went to go upload them. And I got to the one where I was talking about, you know, the update, and you better not turn, I swear to God, I don't care how nice your truck is. Sometimes the big trucks think that they have the right of way, which is not, you know, technically how that works. But anyway, so yeah, so you know, I was going through it all, and I know my hair's not in it, but I was going through it all, and I was like, something's not right. What is not right with this video? And I kept looking at it, and I got all the way, almost all the way through it, and I was like, crap, I know what's wrong with this video. You could hear the radio in the car in the background, and I'm like, crap, I can't put this up. I'm gonna have to delete it. Otherwise, I'm going to get a copyright hit. Because it was low. And, you know, if you weren't paying attention, you could ignore it. You know, which I obviously did, because I don't even remember it being on. I thought I turned it down or off or whatever. Just like right now, it's turned all the way down. But I was like, I didn't even realize it was going until I started watching the video. And then I'm like, oh, damn. That's terrible. I can't use any of this, because it was on for the whole video. So I'm just like, and I don't know why I didn't remember it being on for any of the rest of the video. But then again, this is one of the first ones I did. So I'm like, oh, damn, you know, I'm gonna have to delete it. I'm gonna have to redo it. And I was really upset because it had a thing where I went through Jack in the Box yesterday after I got done. I had to go get a money order, and so yesterday was Saturday. Today's Sunday. So yesterday was Saturday. I had to go to the store. I had to cash a check, get a money order, and put the rest of the money on the card. Because, you know, I don't have what is considered a traditional bank account. You know, I've had trouble with them in the past, and I've been meaning to go back and get a traditional bank account, but then I'm like, this has so much less fees, and, you know, because if something doesn't go through right when I pay it, which, you know, how bank accounts are, sometimes it doesn't go through right when you pay it. So then you go and charge something else thinking, oh, I'm good, this is the balance because, you know, it's already gone through. Well, no, that's not how it works, and then you end up overdrawn. So I just haven't gotten another bank account. I've been meaning to, though, but just, you know, this works for me. So but so yeah, I had to get the money what was left put on the card so that I could do some more shopping. Because I'm changing things around a bit, so, and I needed to be able to do some shopping because I'm having some stuff mailed to the house. Also, I need to be able to buy this grocery order, because I've started doing Walmart grocery pickup, which, you know, I mean, I don't know how other people feel about it. I actually kind of like it. It's very convenient. I go through the entire app at home in my chair, you know, or wherever, you know, and then I just order it, and then I set a pickup date and time, and yeah, and then I just go pick it up, and it's already ready, and they bring it out bagged, they put it wherever you want in the car, and it's like, I don't have to get out of the car. Because, you know, with my knee problems and the lymphedema, it's hard to get around some days. So I don't have to get out of the car. I don't have to bag everything. I don't have to transport everything out to the car from the store, put it in the car, then go home, take it out of the car. You know, this way, all I have to do is take it out of the car. So much more convenient. You know, it really, really is. So I'm just like, that's awesome. You know, and it also gives me a chance to go through the list a few times, because I don't know about anybody else that uses this, but when I go through and do the order initially, what I'll do is I put in everything that I think I want. You know, so it's like I'm putting in everything I think I want, and then I go back through and I look at it and I can see what the subtotal is on it, which is fantastic. So I can see how much the subtotal is, and I'm like, I don't want to spend that much. Let me go through the list and see what I really need and what I don't. You know, and it's just, and I did that, and because, you know, I had to, at one point the grocery list was like, you know, $100 and something, like $200, and I'm just thinking, oh no, I just bought some groceries. I don't need that much. So I'm like, let me go through. And it's like, okay, well, I don't really need the green tea ice cream. I want the green tea ice cream, but I don't need it. So I'm like, green tea ice cream can stay. So, you know, and I go through, and it's like the cheap stuff I leave, the more expensive stuff, I know, I never wear my hair down, so I fiddle with it. But, so the more expensive stuff, I kind of look at it and I'm like, do I really need that? You know, and the cheaper stuff, I'm like, oh, you know, that's not that much, you know. So, but yeah, so I love that aspect of it, because then I can take stuff out and I can see what the subtotal is until I can get it down to what I want. And then I can go back to looking at the shop and say, okay, what else do I really need? And even after you buy what you're going to buy, you have like, I think it's like 20 minutes. I think it's 15 minutes to change your order. You can, within 15 minutes, you can go in and cancel your order, add to your order, take something off your order. And I've only used, this is only the second time I've used it. And, so the first time I didn't do anything, I just left it alone. I was like, it's good right there. I'm leaving it alone. But this time I was like, I got going and I had like 6 minutes left on my time to change it. And I'm like, oh crap, I forgot washcloths. Because apparently my animals either eat washcloths, hide them, sell them to the highest bidder. I don't know what they do to them. I buy those packs of like 18, just the cheap ones at Walmart, because I've gotten to the point now where I know better than to buy anything expensive, because they're going to vanish. They are going to vanish. I will never see them again. So $4 for 18, I'm good. And so yeah, so I was like, oh damn, I need washcloths. And so I went in I checked the time, I went in real quick, and it's like, do you want to change your order? I'm like, yes, add. And so I go in, I'm like, washcloths, and I'm like, there they are, right at the top. Add that, go in, do it, and then I'm like, they're like, are you sure you're done? I'm like, yes. And then I'm like, I'm good, because it gave me into like, you know, this certain time to do it. And then I was like sitting in the chair and I'm watching the show. I don't even remember what I was watching, honestly. I think I was watching NCIS reruns. But, and then I was like, oh crap, you know what else I could use? And I look at the time and I'm like, damn it, it's too late. I can't add. I should have done it when I did the washcloths, but I didn't remember. So yeah, but it's very convenient and I really do like it. So, and I'm doing it for a specific purpose, and along with the other one, because the other one is boxed.com. It's Boxed, and they have an app, and boxed.com is the website, and it's just Boxed, B-O-X-E-D, and it's a bulk site. So it's like, you know, the big box stores like Sam's and Costco, but you don't have to like necessarily pay a fee. If you spend $49, you don't have shipping, and they give you like a code when you first start out so that you get 10% off your first order, which was awesome. So when I first went in there, I was like, oh, I've only got $36 on there. I've got to spend a little bit more. And I'm like, not that that's going to be hard for me, because I had to delete stuff at this point. Because I was like, at one point, my thing in box was like $150. I'm like, I don't need to spend that much right now. And so I go back in and I'm like, okay, I can live without that. I can live without that. I can live without that. And I got it down to like $36, and they're like, with $49 and you can, have free shipping. I'm like, it would save me money just to do it $49 just so I get free shipping. So I went and added a couple of things that I took, re-added, I should say, a couple of things that I took off. And then I'm like, wait, I got an email. It has a code in it. So I go back into my email and I get the code. And I go back and I add the code, and it saves me over $5. So it takes that $50-something price tag and takes it down to 47 and some change. And I'm like, yes, because that's awesome. So, not only did I not have to pay shipping, I got over $5 off because of this code. It was a 10% code, so I got 10% off, which was great. I thought that was awesome. So, and it ships within 1 to 2 days, and they ship it directly to your house. I don't have to worry about going up to the post office. It ships directly to my house because there's some heavier stuff in there. I'm a hand sanitizer freak. It's right here. I buy hand sanitizer by the gallon. And it's because, and I will say this right now before anybody comes at me, I have an OCD issue. And one of my issues, I got this back when I was younger. I was like probably a teenager. Older teenager, younger 20s, something around there. And it had started back when I was younger. I had a thing about keeping my hands clean. I could not stand for my hands to be dirty. So I washed my hands constantly. I mean, constantly I washed my hands. To the point where between the things here, between my fingers, it would crack and bleed. It would be so painful. Oh my God, so painful. So I had to change to a special soap, and I was constantly having to explain my hands. It's like, listen, I got OCD, I've got a compulsion thing about washing my hands, and so I had to change different soaps. I had to start using lots of lotion, and so yeah, I was just like, it was a pain. I mean, an actual pain, because it hurt. It looked like the bottom of some people's feet because it cracked and bled so bad. And I was like, damn. And so I worked really hard to kind of get the compulsion under control. And I finally got my hands healed up, and they have never gotten bad again. Now, sometimes they get dry, but, and I did that by using wipes. It's like the hand wipes, baby wipes even. I usually use like baby wipes because they're so gentle. So, and I've got some right now, they're like organic, and they're like hand, face, and baby wipes. So you can use them on your hand, your face, whatever. They're also good for babies, so they're gentle. And so I use those a lot, but I also use hand sanitizer. And I always get it, with aloe and stuff like that. And that really helps with the whole, compulsion of keeping my hands clean, because that hand sanitizer helps me keep them clean to the point where I'm not worried about it. So, but, so yeah, so I buy like hand sanitizer by the gallon, and thank God this place sells it by the gallon. And, also because I have lymphedema, I have to be very cautious about infections. So I clean everything. I don't clean anything. I clean it with soap and water, but I mean, I don't use like peroxide. I know a lot of people do. They clean like wounds with peroxide. I skip the peroxide because I don't like peroxide. I go straight with rubbing alcohol. I clean every cut, every insect bite with rubbing alcohol. Okay, and you know what? I know a lot of people say, well, that's so harsh on your skin. Yeah. But out of all the people I've heard talk about like lymphedema this, lymphedema that, I've never had cellulitis. Knock on wood. And that is wood. So, I mean, I must be doing something right if I've never had that type of an infection, which is very common in people with lymphedema. So I look at it this way, I've got to be doing something okay. But yeah, I started all this, and I was telling you all about this yesterday. And I'm going through Jack in the Box. Well, I went through Sonic first because I was like, I wanted to get, they used to sell like tea in a gallon. Well, they don't do that anymore. And I wanted to get a gallon of their sweet tea, sweet green tea, because I love that. But they don't have it anymore. And I'm like, God damn it. So, and they're like, we just have the Route 44. And I'm like, fine, I'll get that. You know, wasn't what I wanted, but it's what I got. So, but yeah, so then I was like, I'm gonna go to Jack in the Box, because I didn't want to eat at Sonic, because I didn't want anything from there, because I'll just end up getting either one of the little slingers or one of the little baby burritos, and I'm like, I don't want that right now. So I went over to Jack in the Box, and I pulled up right after a truck pulled off, and I pulled up to the thing, and I'm waiting. I'm like, you know, next to the speaker, and nothing. And I'm like, finally, I'm like, hello, nothing. And I can see the lady behind me peering out the window, like, what's going on? What's going on? Are they answering? What's happening? And, you know. And so I'm like, oh crap. So I just drive up, and I pull up behind the truck at the window, and the truck sits there for a few minutes, and then it just drives off, and I'm like, wait, I didn't see them get their stuff, you know? So I'm like, that's weird. So I drive up to the window, and I realize why the truck pulled off. Apparently they got busy inside, and I'm guessing they hired a whole bunch of new people for this Jack in the Box. So Jack in the Box in West Columbia, by the way, you fell down on the job, because everybody that you ignored, they went to like McDonald's, because, and I know this because a large portion of them followed me to McDonald's. So, you know, I'm sitting there going, and I'm talking to the camera this entire time, because I normally don't leave the camera on, but I was just like, I'm gonna leave the camera on this time. It's just too funny. I'm gonna leave the camera on. It's just hilarious. So I did. I left the camera on, and you know, I just spent the time talking to the camera, and I'm like, still not looking at me. They would walk to the window to get something that was by the window, completely ignore me. I'm like, are you kidding me? Really? Oh my God. All right. You know? Okay then. And that was what made me think, you know what? Screw it. I'm leaving the camera on. So the entire time we're just sitting there going, still nothing, still ignoring me. And yeah, I can see that they're busy inside, but I can also see that there's a girl wearing a headset to work the drive-thru. She's just kind of wandering aimlessly. I don't know what her purpose is. She would just kind of wander by, and I'm just like, what the hell is that about? And finally, I'm just like, you know what? The hell with it. I'm leaving. You know, I'm not staying here for that. You know, and so I just pull out, and the car that was behind me, that was peering out her window, like, what's going on? She turns. She comes up, pulls up to the window, and it wasn't very long after I pulled out that she pulled out. She followed me to McDonald's, and at that point, there were 3 or 4 cars behind me that were getting totally ignored at the drive-thru, and so I'm just like, this is not good. This has never happened at this Jack in the Box before. It's never happened, ever. It's never happened. You know, normally they are like right on the ball, you know, and they weren't this time. But it's like I said, it's a whole different cast, a different crew. I've never seen any of these people before in my life. So I was like, I guess we won't be coming here again. So yeah, but, and I was like, oh, this will make for a good video, you know, and kind of like a follow me around. And then I heard the music, and I was like, damn it. And it also, I was telling y'all all about the car situation. Okay, so this video, the videos that I do today, so if I'm wearing the Snapcat shirt, which I love my Snapcat shirt. I started wearing my my Rick and Morty shirt, but I was just like, no, I know, I don't remember where I put my white bra. It's a white shirt. That sounds terrible. I don't remember where I put the white bra. The only bra I can remember is the one that's hot pink, and I'm not wearing another white shirt. So I don't think anybody cared, but still, I care. So yeah, so I put on my Snapcat shirt. So anything like new that gets put on with my Snapcat shirt on, that is part of the last hurrah of the Lexus. And let me explain that. I put it on my Instagram story, but I don't think anybody, I think that had like 2 people saw it. No one cares. I think I've got over 400 people. I don't know, 300 something, 400 something followers on Instagram, but I don't think anybody actually cares enough to watch the Instagram, my story. So, but yeah. So since I had to quit working, the money situation has become a bit more rigid. Let's put it like that. There's not as much extra money as before. So, I have been fighting and to keep everything paid and bring in extra money, find the extra money to keep the car up to date. This car, for the payment and the insurance, is almost $600 a month. And I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't keep doing it. It's just too much. It's too much stress, really, honestly. It's just constant struggle. How am I going to make, how am I going to shift everything around where I can pay that $600 a month? It's actually like $570, almost $580. So, I mean, it's almost $600. So where am I going to find that money to pay that and pay the bills and get the groceries bought, and, everything that I need to, and get everything that I need to get. And so I started doing the math, and I was like, okay, let me do the math. And I was doing the math with the car and without the car. And I looked at the ones without the car, and I'm like, I would be so much better off without the car. I'm in the middle of nowhere and I won't have a car. But, I'm like, it's worth it to the point to just let it go back, just give it back, and just start putting money up to buy a car outright, because I've already decided kind of what I want. And it's gonna cost a few $1,000s to buy what I want, but it will, in the end, it will save me money because I want to get a little smart car. Yeah, it's just a 2-seater, but you know what? It's just me. I very rarely take the kids anywhere with me anymore since they've hit the teen years. Since they've hit the teen years, they're just like, we love you, but you're not like cool. And it's like, that's okay, I expected that. So, so it's just me, and I just need something that will hold groceries and shopping stuff. So it's like, I'm good. And, so yeah, and, that was basically it. So I started looking around, and I decided, the smart car's the way to go. I have a friend who, him and his husband have, I don't know how many they currently have, but over the years they've had probably like 5, 6 of them. And so he just sings their praises, and I mean, to continuously buy something like that over and over again, they must be okay. Now keep in mind, car stat wise, when you go into like the car reviews and stuff, they don't think too highly of them, like as car and driver, consumer car, something, I don't know. They don't seem to think too high of them, but the things that they say that are bad about them, I'm like, that's not that bad. I can survive with that, they're like, it's a bit of a rough ride, watch out for potholes. Well, I live in Texas. Potholes are a problem for every car. Does not matter how good of a suspension you have, the potholes are a problem. So it's like, that's just life. Because, and I think everywhere too, because everything is on constant road work, these days. And so I'm just like, it's fine. I don't care. I don't care about that. That's, I'm looking at, do they last, what's the miles per gallon, things like that, And yeah, I told myself I would not get any more tiny cars. I told myself, next time I'm getting like an SUV, but then I started looking at it and I'm like, it's not cost efficient. It's not cost efficient. I don't need an SUV. I don't need an SUV. I don't need a truck. Would I like to have an SUV or a truck? Yes. You know, but I don't need one, is the thing. I don't need it. I can survive just fine without it. All I need is something to get me around. And so I'm like, the most cost efficient version of this would be a smart car. I see people with like smart cars, and they have the little, different little cars that are kind of like the smart cars, about the same size, a little bit bigger. And I'm just thinking, you know, they're popular, you know, so, and talking to somebody who has one, you know, and unfortunately, and here's the bad thing, if I had given the car back in February, I would have had the money to buy a smart car now, because I've been fighting so hard to pay that money every month. I was just like, you know, just fight to pay it, fight. And now he's got one of his like relatives that's selling a hot pink smart car, and I'm like, oh my God, I would love that. Damn it, why didn't I let this thing go back, give this thing back in February? It would have been so much more smart, you know. So yeah, I would have been able to get that, because he was like, why don't you buy hers? And I'm like, I wish I could, you know, but sadly, you know, I can't do that. So I have decided that for right now, I'm going to get a tricycle, you know, one of the adult tricycles. It has two baskets. It's got a big basket on the back and a little one on the front, which is awesome. It's through Walmart.com. It's a little on the pricey side. It's like $300 before like tax and shipping and everything. So after that, it's probably going to be, you know, $375, somewhere around there. So it's probably going to take me, you know, a little bit to put the money aside, because, you know, I've got to buy certain things first, you know, just like I've got to make sure all the groceries are kept up every month, and, you know, the assorted other bills. So it's like, I need to make sure that, you know, that gets covered, you know, so, and, you know, that's okay, you know, so, but yeah, so, but that is like the plan. And I think part of me is going to miss having the car, or having a car. I don't know if it's, I will miss this car. It's a good car. It really is. It's comfortable. It's in good condition. You know, it is not worth what they sold it to me for, because they sold it to me for like $12,000, and the highest on the Blue Book value is $5,300. So I got screwed on the price. I mean, seriously screwed. And I realize that now, and I am aware. I am totally aware, you know, but at the time I was desperate. I had to get a car, because my other car died in a wreck. And so I was like, I've got to get a car. And so I just bought the first one. And it wasn't even the one I wanted. It was the one that the guy said, this is in your price range. So I didn't even get the one I wanted. I just got the one that the guy at this place told me, this is in your price range. It's a good car, don't worry. You know, and it is. It's a good car. It's just, I don't know. Currently, with the way my life has changed, it's not practical for me. Also, you know, so I won't be filming in the car. I won't have the car to film in. So I am in the process, once I can get myself going to it, I'm going to be cleaning out the storage room that I have in my house and turning it into an office/studio, so I can film in there. And I mean, I've already got my ring light. I've already got my setup for behind me, which I'm not sure if I'll use that or not. I forgot where the term was. But yeah, so so that's in the process. So, but I wanted to go ahead and get some stuff. Everything falls. That all has to be taken out of the car today, because they're picking up the car tomorrow. Today's Sunday. They are picking up the car tomorrow, Monday at 1 p.m. They will be there. They'll probably be there at noon. But anyway, so this all has to be taken out of the car today, and I have no idea where to put it. Because it's just like, I was been gathering stuff up for garage sales. So I've got all this crap in here. It's stuff from when I was working, it's stuff for the garage sale, and I'm just like, God damn it, where am I gonna put it? Because if I put it in the storage room, that just adds more stuff to the storage room. So, but yeah, so it's kind of hectic and it's kind of crazy, but I mean, you know, I'm getting it worked out slowly but surely. So, and I will be doing more videos today. I did videos yesterday, so I will be doing those. So, you know, just, you know, let y'all know. I'm gonna park in the shade. I'm gonna park all the way in the shade. But anyway, so yeah, that's all I got for you on this one, because I'm here and I've got to get this done. So, as always, much love from Monty in a very curious place. Stay strange, ladies. Bye.